Vertical Aviation International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Humanitarian Service Award. This award honors the person or persons who best demonstrate the value of rotorcraft to the communities in which they operate by providing aid to those in need. Cyclone Gabrielle hit New Zealand's North Island in mid-February 2023, leaving a wake of destruction not seen in a century. The Hawke's Bay region on the east side of the island experienced the worst of the storm. Record flooding, mudslides, and powerful winds took out homes, bridges, power lines, and cell towers, stranding people without means of communication. Helicopter operator Rotorforce New Zealand, based at Hastings Aerodrome in Hawke's Bay, contracts for the local electricity network. On February 13th, before the storm hit, CEO Joe Farron prepared his aircraft to respond to the coming weather event. Before sunrise on February 14th, the power company called Joe for help. Driving to the aerodrome, he realized the cyclone was worse than he'd anticipated. The airfield was surrounded by water. Before he could launch his Airbus H-125B3, the country's chief firefighting and emergency services body called for an aircraft for recon flights. While the first flight was only 20 miles, Joe struggled to recognize where he was. Everything was underwater and landmarks were lost. He realized the disaster was unfolding right in front of him. Joe brought the fire emergency team to his hangar. Unable to reach his other pilot on the phone, he flew out to retrieve him, returning to the airfield so he could join the rescue work. Joe also helped locate Jimmy Guerin, CEO of Helicopters Hawke's Bay, a commercial operator experienced in firefighting. Also based at Hastings Aerodrome, Guerin was able to deploy additional helicopters in the effort. Across the region, people were stranded on their roofs. In some cases, the rushing water was up to the gutters. The helicopters worked all day, lifting people to higher ground where police and ambulance services were waiting, or back to the safety of the airfield. With comms down, the helicopters also served as communications relays, picking up radio calls for help and calling them into emergency personnel. Back at Joe's hangar, Fire and Emergency New Zealand set up base and was soon joined by an ambulance service. When the Royal New Zealand Air Force arrived around noon, Joe gave them space to operate as well. The Air Force brought 3 NH-90 helicopters to the effort. They immediately went to work on rescues that required winches, while the smaller aircraft continued saving and transporting victims. Many rescues were harrowing, requiring pilots to hover with one skid over the moving water. Throughout the whole ordeal, the helicopter operators coordinated with one another efficiently, ensuring a safe and professional operation. All the aircraft flew until dark that first day, together with rescuers using inflatable boats, rescuing an estimated 400 people. By the second day, aircraft were also transporting supplies, food, and medicine. Subsequent days' missions included repairs to power lines, cell networks, and roads. The overall air support from the 3 operators and many others went on for 8 solid weeks before the roads were fully repaired and access reestablished for local residents. Please join the VAI Board of Directors in saluting Rotorforce New Zealand, Helicopters Hawke's Bay, and the No. 3 Squadron of the Royal New Zealand Air Force, the recipients of the 2025 Salute to Excellence Humanitarian Service Award.